Hello, everyone. My name is Simon Miller. Just wanted to spend a couple minutes talking about StudentWorks. Chris Thompson, someone I've known for a lot of years. I was a manager that started 26 years ago, and the fact I'm still talking about it and making videos like this, I think, is a good testament to how much of an impact it's had on my life. I only have a few minutes this morning, so let me just go through very quickly, just who I am, why I got involved in StudentWorks, and the impact it's had on my life. So as a way of introduction, again, my name is Simon Miller. You can find me on LinkedIn for the look of the full profile. I've had a very interesting career over the years. I spent probably just under 13 years at Oracle, which is one of the largest software companies in the world, nearly 40 billion in revenue, 137,000 employees, and I had a number of significant promotions in the company, not just within the role, but also in different roles, different groups, different organizations. A very interesting background, and that landed a position currently at Workday, and smaller company, a lot more fun. Really having a lot of fun there. I started there in January 2018. It's significant size. No point quoting numbers because it keeps changing. It's growing so fast. I've seen it grow really fast. But one day it probably will be one of the largest software companies in the world. And I own customer satisfaction and customer success for it's an organization that I'm responsible for Canada. So very blessed to be there. And on the side, over the course of my career and corporate career, I've done a lot of real estate flipping, taking advantage of some of the different market forces, and basically turned $5,000 initially for a small down payment for a tiny little bungalow in Oakville, and turned it into over just under $1 million in 20 years. So StudentWorks really kind of gave me the courage and the wisdom to take those risks, to have kind of that entrepreneurial approach on the side. So I guess the first thing is, well, why did I decide to run a business with StudentWorks? And there were a couple things going on. One is when I learned about the program, the chance to run a company at scale and size, to go from basically ground zero to having a number of employees and quite a few painting contracts, just really from scratch, just blew me away that there was that opportunity. I was very excited about it. But running the business, really felt that entrepreneurial streak. And at the same time, I was completely broke. Just paying for food and gas was a real struggle through university, and so I just need to make a lot of money quickly. Why? What's some of the reservations? There weren't a whole lot of reservations, other than the fact that I didn't know much about painting. I needed to buy some ladders. I needed to make sure I had a working car. I needed to make sure that the first few contracts I could still buy groceries and pay for gas. But that was really the only reservation. I had absolute confidence that this was going to work and I was going to be successful, and had some really good leadership in terms of the general managers and with Chris. Did I look at other opportunities? I did, but once I learned about the program and what I'd be doing for the summer, just the whole notion of working, trading time for money, some job and hourly rate, just was not appealing at all to me at that point. In terms of what was my experience in running the business, it was by far the hardest thing that I have ever done, or at the time, and even now, many years later. I have never done anything so hard or so difficult, nor have I ever grown so fast and so far in such a short period of time. I had no safety net. I had no parents to go back to, no other kind of financial backing. So it was kind of, burn the boats at the shore, and just kind of keep going, and just worked my butt off, and it was really worked out really well. I made some mistakes at the beginning, as most people do, but they were not critical or fatal, because I had very good training through the program. And also some very good mentors and leaders, through my general manager and through Chris and through other general managers, and just in the support and network of the other people that were doing the same thing as me. So basically did succeed in the end. I should mention, I think my after the first year I was close. I was in the top, I don't know, second, third, fourth, whatever, top five, managers, rookie managers. The guy who was actually the rookie of the year is actually became a roommate of mine a couple years later, and even now we've been best friends ever since. The second year, I was probably the, I think I was close. I was in the running to be the manager of the year, and I ended up losing it to a guy that got a whole contract for like an entire factory. So it's kind of hard to compete with that. When someone gets a contract that large. And then my third year became a district manager, and that just further expanded my skills because now I was coaching and training and mentoring other managers as well. And again, just kind of made contacts that many years later still bump into people from those days. Why would I recommend? I've got 4 kids. It's always been a hope of mine that at least one or a couple of them would end up doing this program because I would love for them to get the same kind of training and experience and skills developed that I had from that that program. And but what would I recommend? I think I would want them to know what they're getting themselves into. I would want to make sure that they had the work ethic and the discipline. You're not going to be goofing off, right? You're not just going to be taking off with friends and partying every weekend. It's going to be a lot of hard work. It's heads down. It's serious work. You've got employees responsible to you, and you're responsible for them and taking care of them, and you have to stick with it because it's tough. The hardest part is the early stages, but then the income and the revenue all kind of flows towards the end of the summer. So the people that stick it through the end of the summer, they're the ones that have the highest profitability for that time. What what I recommend to somebody who's watching this video, thinking do I get involved in this program or not? What would what would you recommend? Well, one thing is that it's going to teach you a lot of focus and discipline. It's going to give you real world business skills. I think just a few months ago, I was explaining the concept of a sales pipeline to someone on my team, and I realized all I was doing was walking through my training as student works training from 26 years ago. So all the corporate training and everything like that, I'm still kind of referring back to those skills and those experiences. And also as a manager and somebody who looks at a lot of resumes and for different hiring, it is the number one way to be able to stand out because everyone else is going to look the same on paper. But when you show that you've run a business at any size, scale, whatever level of success, even the fact that you've done it and you've done it for the summer is the number one way to stand out when you're out of school and start looking for work in the corporate world. Because I cannot stress how hard it is to get started, when you come out of school, and whether if you're looking to, I took the corporate path. Some people take the entrepreneurship path. There's lots of options, so it's one way to stand out. Or if you decide to take the entrepreneurship path, you're going to be able to immediately jump into something straight out of school and build it to scale, as opposed to spinning your wheels for 5-10 years trying to figure it out. You're actually going to have some tools in your toolbox and some skills. I took the corporate path, and I've been an entrepreneur within corporations that I've worked for, and that has worked out really well, especially in the role I have now, where I have a lot of freedom and flexibility to kind of run an organization, and I really try to approach it as an entrepreneur within a company that has a very much of a startup feel. So if if you guys want to reach out to me, feel free at any point if you have any kind of further questions. But I just want to say again, thank you to Chris, who had such a massive impact on my life, right from when I was very, very young to even today. I think the world of him, and of the program that he's created and developed over the years. Thank you.